So we've just started a new pilot study with a French institute called IRCEA. IRCEA is a research institute that specializes on how animals communicate with each other through chemical cues, like pheromones. Pheromones are chemical signals that animals use to communicate, kind of like invisible messages carried through smell. These messages can trigger different responses. For our project, we are using synthetic versions of these natural chemical signals to help our animals to cope better with stress. Right now, we are focusing on two main areas: social introductions, which is when we safely put animals next to each other with the intention to create a group or a pair, and we are also focusing on animals with abnormal behavior. A lot of our animals come from very difficult backgrounds. They often come with a lot of traumas. We are starting with two lions in this project, Ziggy and Hilaria.
As you can see, Ziggy is overall a very calm animal, but we've noticed that in smaller spaces and before he's been fed, he can show a lot of abnormal behaviors like pacing, self-biting, and even sometimes chasing his tail. We believe this can be due to his past because he was housed in a small area, and when he arrived here we noticed he was an energetic young male. So probably in that small area he never got rid of his energy, and that's when he started putting his energy in these abnormal behaviors.
For Ziggy, we are using a pheromone diffuser, which is a bit like the diffusers we have at home with little wooden sticks that release scent into the air. These scent are pheromones. We are placing this diffuser on Ziggy's indoor enclosure where he tends to be more reactive. And we hope with this to promote a more safe and calm environment, especially during feeding times.
We've recently put in the diffuser with the pheromones, and we're monitoring him daily to see if his abnormal behaviors will reduce or even, in best case scenario, disappear. It's been now a couple of weeks since we started with the pheromones with Ziggy, and we are very happy to say that we've been noticing that he's been showing a bit less abnormal behavior at the main door.
And then there's Hilaria, a lioness who's had several failed introductions due to her aggression. Although recently we saw one social introduction where she had a neutral response to a male that gave us some hope.
Hilaria has been with us already a bit more than 3 years. And we've tried several introductions with her and they all failed, mainly because of her aggressive behaviors towards the male. And the last introduction that we did with her with Pretzel, she did not show aggressive behavior, but also not very positive. She was more ignoring him, which for us is already more positive than all the previous introductions that we tried with her. That's why we want to try the pheromones with her to give her another chance to be together with another male.
With Hilaria, we are not using a diffuser, but a spray version of the pheromones that needs to be applied directly in the animal. What we hope to see is positive behavior during the next social introduction. For example, head rubbing, laying down near the mesh, gentle vocalizations. These are all signs that the animal feels at ease and open to potential social bonding.
We now recently started also the training for her because we have to spray the pheromones on her body. Several sprays on the side and on the top of her body. We've started with water first, spraying water. She has been receiving this really well. And now the next step, of course, will be that we will try to spray the pheromones on her and at least first see if there's a change in her behavior with the pheromones. For 2 weeks we've now been using the pheromone spray on Hilaria and she's been receiving it very well. So now the next step we'll be using it for the introduction.
As part of this project, we are also collecting behavioral observations before and after the application of the pheromones. This is to understand how animals respond over time and how this tool can be helpful in the future, and the impact this tool might have on their behavior and overall well-being. This is a great example of how we can use science in a very practical way to improve the welfare of the lives of the animals in our care.